Hello, my name is David Collins and welcome to Florida's Nature Coast by the Numbers. Folks, I have a few stories to really give you the essence of why our numbers really stack up when compared to other areas of the state of Florida. The first story comes from my friend Susan Crawford, and she makes a great comment that we're smack dab in the middle of things locally and we're smack dab in the middle of things regionally. And what she meant by this is that we're smack dab in the middle of things locally in the fact that we have Denellen, Homosassa, Inverness, and Crystal River. Four very small Americana-type hometowns that are not derived by a developer. They are true American hometowns in the fact that they have numerous festivals throughout the year, juried art shows, farmers markets, great festivals, car shows, you name it. There's always something fun going on here in Citrus County. Then if you decide, hey, we're smack dab in the middle of everything regionally, you wake up on a beautiful day like today, and January 28th, it's about 75 degrees to kind of rub it into the folks up north. But if you wake up to somebody, or if you wake up and say, what can we do, today? Well, 65 minutes to Orlando, 60 minutes to Tampa, 30 minutes to Ocala, and roughly about an hour to Gainesville if you want to go catch a Florida game. So the point being is that we're regionally in the smack dab in the midst of things, or locally. So when you look at it and when you talk about necessities, numbers work this way. Regardless of where you live here, you're 4 minutes to any necessities, a la your drugstores, your shopping Publix or other supermarket chains. You're basically 10 minutes to the basics and 12 minutes or less to any medical that you're going to need. So the county has everything, and the map that I'm going to go ahead and put out really is going to give you a great idea of what I'm talking about. And it really gives you a great idea of how centrally located we are to the things that 75 million people come to Florida for. The other thing I want to point out in her thoughts is what the metro areas present. Our crime rate here in Citrus County is the lowest crime rate in the state of Florida for residents with more than 100,000 residents. Check out these numbers. As you can see, we definitely have an advantage. Now the real good news is that 50% of our land here in Citrus County is preserved here. So what you see today is what you're going to get. We're not going to have that explosive growth that other areas have seen, and more importantly, we're not going to experience the problems that come along with that growth, such as traffic, increased crime, and your basic day-to-day hassles like 2-hour waits at restaurants. The second story is from me. Being in the golf business in South Florida, along with the Orlando area, and living here in Citrus County, considered the nature's coast, I have a better understanding of the weather than most. And I feel very strongly that our total year-round weather story on the nature's coast is better than anywhere else in the state of Florida. Let me explain. First, we have 219 days that we fall into what we call the comfort zone. What this means is that for 219 days, you will not need to use your heat or air conditioning. Folks, that's 60% of the year. But to give you a better idea of what I'm talking about, let me break it down by 3 seasons. January, July, and spring and fall, which are very similar, which is, again, our sweet spot. Now, it's kind of a unique thing today because, first off, we're going to talk about January, and there's a big myth that it's much colder in our area versus our brethren in South Florida. Yes, we have some nights in the 40s and 30s, but the next day we rebound into the high 50s or low 60s. And please note, when this is happening here, roughly the same thing is happening in Miami, but 6 degrees warmer. So when you have a 60-degree day here, Miami is only at 66. Folks, in my opinion, this is splitting hairs, and the good news is that these cold snaps that we get, the bad thought process only lasts a couple of days. And then we're ultimately back to our average of 70 degrees. Now it's a little bit warmer today, but as you can see, January 28th, and probably no better place to be than right here where I'm standing. the bottom line is, whenever I asked anyone their favorite month up north, the overwhelming answer is September. Well, the good news is that our winter months of December, January had the same average temperatures as you enjoy in September. Pretty nice, if I say so myself. Now, to kind of give you a little perspective, we're discussing 70-degree weather versus 76 down in South Florida, and you have this. Well, jury, I rest my case. Now for the summer. As you can see, very similar throughout the peninsula of Florida. But one saving grace on the Nature Coast is that with our rolling hills, as you can see here, we're 250 feet above sea level and always have a nice breeze. I don't know if you can see that or not, but with our rolling hills, we enjoy the Gulf breeze all summer long because we're high up. And our humidity is a bit less than what you will encounter in South Florida because of the Everglades. Because of that said Everglades, South Florida humidity is 10 basis points higher than what you'll find here. That affords us to be a bit more comfort throughout the course of the summer. Of course, I'm going to give you a little perspective on this front also. As you can see, when it's summer all over the country. Okay, I saved the best for last. As you can see, April and October are two of our best months on the Nature's Coast. But it goes a little bit deeper than just temperature. The great thing about these months is that I refer to them as our bonus months. As South Florida starts their summertime pattern roughly April 1st, with higher humidity, which continues through the end of October, the Nature Coast enjoys less humidity in these 2 months. So we're roughly 40 to 50 days that we are much more comfortable versus our friends in South Florida. Folks, that is the significant news, and that's why I will debate anybody about the total weather story anywhere in the state of Florida. And we have one other advantage that is very important on the Nature's Coast here. We are low risk for hurricanes. As you can see, the Nature Coast has not been landfall to a major storm in more than 100 years. So our hurricane insurance reflects that. Also, I would like to note that our county sits on a high ridge which is over 250 feet above sea level. You can see the topo map there. The good news is that if you choose an area on the ridge, you will save considerable amount of money on insurance. State business, I have the pleasure of meeting lots of people. And the great advantage to this is you really get a well-rounded perspective because the customers come from all over the country and shop all over the state of Florida. And I know it to Barry Olson, my buddy, and his analysis into our cost of living advantage. He always mentions, first and foremost, we do not have any state income tax or inheritance tax, and we have very stable property taxes, but those are given across the state. The real advantage to Citrus County is that our cost of living index is lower, period. He shared this information with me that the cost of living in most areas up north are between 21 to 37% higher than the Tampa region. But he adds it gets better. Our cost of living in Citrus County is lower than Tampa or other parts of the state, as you can see. His favorite quote is, natural, unspoiled, and affordable. Now for the most important reason for you to consider Nature's Coast. Folks, it's on sale. I've heard a couple of numbers like homes are roughly 40% below replacement costs, or our market has dropped roughly 52% from the highs. The bottom line is that it's definitely a buyer's market, and even though you will be selling low up north, the good news is that you'll be buying low in Florida. So it's all relative. So please visit my website. You can kind of see it underneath here, Nature Coast on Sale, to get a better perspective of the opportunities that are available. Folks, in conclusion, don't let the media fool you. The smart money is coming to Florida and buying real estate. There's $1 billion of real estate being sold each and every week here in the state of Florida. Remember the old saying, be fearful when everyone is greedy, and be greedy when everyone is fearful. As you read the headlines up north, you are hearing a lot of fear, and that is why the smart money is down here right now taking advantage. I'll leave you with one more thing. Folks, there is only so many grains of sand in your hourglass, and every day up north is one day less in paradise. And if you wait too long, it will be too late to enjoy our incredible lifestyle. And of course, you will be dealing with 37% more cost of living on a fixed income. And of course, you'll be dealing with 37-degree weather. And, okay, you get the point. Well, you stayed tuned this long, so Florida must be on your radar. So you owe it to yourself to give me a call at 407-716-6206 to further discuss this area and make plans to come see why the Nature Coast is simply irresistible.